Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to show you how to install a water filter on this Mr. Coffee tin cup combo brewer. So this coffee maker was just released in 2021. It's a really nice Mr. Coffee maker, but it does tin cup coffee pot and it also does K-cup single brew. But what's really different about this is Mr. Coffee came out with a different water filter. Normally they've got their disc that they put above the brew basket, but they've kind of switched to a standard carbon water filter that goes in the water reservoir. So this holder came with this Mr. Coffee maker. So hopefully you still have the holder. It's a pretty specialized holder and it only comes with one water filter. This is a carbon water filter that's good for 2 months. Now I was able to find the filters on Amazon. You're going to want to make sure you buy the Mr. Coffee Advanced Water Filter Replacement cartridge. So these cartridges, so they kind of look like a Keurig water filter. This is a Keurig water filter, but it's definitely a lot bigger. It won't fit in the holder. And also Cuisinart sells water filters that go in their coffee makers. This is a holder for a Cuisinart coffee maker. And you can tell they're different. They look the same, but it's smaller. And this one won't fit in there. So the Cuisinart coffee maker filters will not work with this. You've got to get the specific ones made for Mr. Coffee. And again, they're $10 for 2 of them off of Amazon. I'm going to put a link in my show description. I am an Amazon affiliate program now. I do get a little bit of money if you click on that link and purchase it. The products don't cost anymore, but it does help defer some of the costs that I incur because I buy all of my products. I don't have any products shipped to me or given to me for free. Okay, so the water filter goes in the water reservoir. So in the bottom of the reservoir, you can see there's a little like cutout, indentation for this water filter to sit into. So that's the intake for the coffee maker, and the water has to go through that little tube there before it can go into the coffee maker. So when we have our water filter installed, again, that's a carbon water filter, it snaps into the bottom of this water reservoir. Make sure you snap it in or it will float. That way now the water has to go through the carbon filter before it goes into the coffee maker. We can see that there. But before you install the water filter, there is some setup. So here we've got the instruction manual. So this is called the Advanced Water Filtration System. We're going to soak it in cold water for 5 minutes. Then we're going to rinse it for a minute. Then we're going to put it in the bottom of the holder. So here I got a cup of water. Again, you're going to take this out of the plastic and you're just going to set it in there. Make sure it doesn't float on top. Kind of push it down a little bit and let it sit for 5 minutes. Now your water is going to turn kind of a gray. And you may get little particles, little black particles coming off the outside of your filter. That's okay. After it sits, this water will get pretty gray because that's a charcoal in there, and there's some dust around the charcoal inside the filter. So we want to get all that charcoal dust out of the filter. So after it is set there for 5 minutes, now I'm going to take this over to the sink and I'm going to run water through it for a minute. I'm going to kind of turn it all around and run water through it. Okay, so I've got this, all the setup work is done with the filter now. Now, there will only go one way. There's a flat area. The flat area needs to go on the bottom, and the rounded part goes in the top. You don't want to put it in, so it won't go in that way. Put it in that way, then that lid just snaps on, and then it's nice and flush. That's what you want it to look like. Now, it's got this dial. If you look on the other side of the dial, there's months. Replaced. They want you to put the month that you replaced it. So it is, right now it is June. And again, they want you, it says replaced every month. I usually go about every 2 months. So I know that I put it in June. It says June and it's got all the different months. And that way I know when the next time is to change it after about 2 months. Then I'm going to put this in the machine and we'll be ready to go. Again, come over to, you can do this with water in the reservoir. It's a little easier with water out. And just make sure it snaps in there, okay? It can go either way, but it'll snap in there like that. Now, I have run into a problem before. I've filled my water reservoir up to here, and I went and brewed a pot of coffee, and it said add water. Even though I had water in the reservoir, it wasn't sucking the water through the water filter one time. So I took the water filter out, ran a pot of coffee, and then after it kind of primed the pump, then the water filter worked again. So you may run into that, you may not see that. But if it says add water and you got water in the reservoir, just take your filter out for one brew and then put it back in. These water filters help reduce the taste of chlorine, and they do help your coffee taste a little better. I do recommend a water filter. They do a pretty good job. I've been looking online. I can't find this holder. So this coffee maker is so new. I can find the replacement filters, but I haven't been able to find the holder. If I find the holder, I'll put a link to it in my description also. But I have found at least the filters. Again, check out my other videos. I'm going to do how to use a reusable K-Cup on the K-Cup side. I also show you how to descale it. So using vinegar, you can have this thing descaled in less than an hour. And I show you exactly how to do that according to the manufacturer's instructions. Thanks everybody for your support. And if you could, please like and subscribe.